All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rechak. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom unto the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom unto you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So, I want to title this video, be sober, be vigilant. We are in peerless times. At any time something could pop off, but I actually want to talk about the spiritual aspect of, being sober, being vigilant. Because, of course, to be sober-minded is to be disciplined. This ain't the time to allowing the things that you have problem with in the flesh to overtake you. And to be vigilant is to stand stiffly, for the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. So, I was meditating on this because I was going to go a certain way with this, like the danger aspect, the physical danger aspect. But I want to talk about the spiritual aspect because everything is spiritual before physical. So it said, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So we read about Job. You know about the things that Job went through. Also, the Lord allowed Satan to do those things. The only thing that Satan wasn't allowed to do was take his life. Because the Lord is in control of that. And he's also in control of all things. But the point is that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai said in Ecclesiastes 2:1, when thou comest to the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right. So this walk is not easy. And since we're getting closer to the end, Satan is turning up, the demons turning up. And you also have to expect that, even though, we in this flesh and you get weak sometimes and feel like you want to give up sometimes, but the Lord's mercy is what keeps us here. So we're going to look up this word, sober, vigilant, and devour. Oops.
Strong's G 3525. NAFO.
Say to abstain from wine, keep sober. See, that's the physical. Figuratively, be discreet, be sober, watch. That's keeping your eyes single. That's also going to discipline. To be sober, to be calm and collected in spirit. Be temperate. All right. Discipline. Okay. Dispassionate, circumspect. What do dispassionate means? Not influenced by strong emotion and so able to rational and impartial. Now, everything's easier said than done. Now, this is actually hard to do, but you have to tap into it. The scriptures told us that we have to. One thing that I realized about being in this truth is that when things annoy you, Satan play on that more and more. That's why the scripture says, resist the devil and he shall flee. The way that you resist is by being dispassionate, which is unemotional. It's very, very hard to do. But I'm talking to myself first. Every video that I make, I talk to myself first. Okay? So, and Lord willing to edify the person who listen. So, everything's easier said than done. And, the flesh always react. The spirit eventually comes upon you and then it settles you. But your first initial reaction is, emotion. At the end of the day, this life is hell. And then you're already going through things in your mind. You may not be where you need to be or want to be financially. Your house, it's not where it need to be, because 9.9 times out of 10, if you a man and you have a woman, matter of fact, I'm going to say 10 out of 10. Yeah. 10 out of 10, your woman ain't in the truth. So that means that you have to deal with certain things. All right. And this world is more catered to the woman. So even when it comes to your children, she have more, control over the children. So you can't really be a disciplinary the way that you would like. And I ain't talking about physically. I'm just talking about just, trying to push, the truth on your children, have certain aspects and stuff like that. And, she might challenge it. So anyways, like say if you got a son, in the law, you ain't supposed to line up, get a crispy lineup, but she might take your son to go to the barbershop and get a crispy lineup, like just something like that. But back to the point. So, being sober is by being disciplined, being temperate in all things. And when we look up vigilant,
Strong's G 1127. Gregareo.
and it's kind of the same thing as sober, because that's why Yahushua said, you see the first word, watch. That's why Yahushua said, watch and pray. All right. For the flesh is weak. But before that, he said, watch and pray for that you be not. Damn, I gotta get it. Oh, that you fall not into temptation. Okay. So watch and pray that you fall not into temptation. That's Matthew 26-41. So it says, be vigilant, wait, be watchful, to watch, metaphor, give strict attention to. So sober, vigilant, all goes into keeping your eyes single, keeping the main thing. The Lord been having me say that, in the spirit for like a month now. Keep the main thing. So take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity suddenly overtake one. What does word mean? Avoidance of activity. Oh, yeah, because laziness. So the scripture talks about give diligence to make your calling and election sure. So that also goes into being vigilant, being diligent, So also devour.
Strong's G 2666. Catapino.
So to drink down, gulp, literally, figuratively, devour, drown, swallow up. To drink down, swallow up, devour, swallow, destroy. So this is Satan's job. And remember what Yahushua told Apostle Peter, that Satan desired to sift you, and that's inward agitation to overthrow your faith. That's what swallow down mean. But also, let's go to Google real quick. So it says, idiom, swallowed up means to be completely covered, absorbed, or overwhelmed by something. Now, one thing that Satan is very good at, he would make things that really don't matter in that moment. Now, here's the thing. We on the earth, we have to deal with the things on the earth. And by dealing with the things on the earth, so you have to do what you got to do to get your daily bread. So here's the thing. Satan will afflict you at your job. We ain't in the time that, even though the Lord, he could do whatever he wants, as in blessing you with another job if it have to come to that. But this ain't the time to be jumping from job to job. This ain't the time to be like, what, I'm gonna quit. I'm done because I'm tired of this shit. This ain't the time for that. But your job will piss you off to that point. All right. So now you being afflicted at your job. That's your livelihood. Then you come home and you don't get comfort. I'm just using examples, because it ain't like you can really talk to your woman about, your day at the job, because you always going to speak from a spiritual mindset. Now, if you come home being carnal, of course you could talk to your woman, because she's going to talk about Lisa at work. She's going to talk about Carolyn at work. You know what I'm saying? She's going to talk about Yvette Yvette, that's funny. Baby boy. But yeah, so she would love for you to actually talk, the way that she'll talk. But no, you're going to talk about how Satan fucking with you, these demons jumping on these co-workers and stuff like that, your boss, Satan using your boss against you and shit like that. So she ain't trying to hear that. She don't even understand that, But it said loses one's separate identity or existence. So sometimes you get beat down so bad that you don't even want to be here no more. And you lose yourself, man. Like, even though the scripture says that you're going to go through hell, you forget that in the moment. It become unfair. I ain't signing up for this. This is some bullshit, But the Lord told you this would be the case. So in the moment, all right, you can lose yourself, man. Then when you go down here, it said to be consumed down here, to be consumed with grief. So yeah, so those are the problems, unnecessary problems that be coming into your life, and you be consumed in those moments. And guess what? You can literally fall in that moment. If it wasn't for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's mercy, we would fall. And guess what? The reason I'm making this video, be sober, be vigilant, because guess what? We are heading in to the biggest test of our lives. See, the Lord been, getting us ready spiritually. When you go on the highways and byways, when you tell your family, like, listen, this is what I believe in, I don't give a damn about how you feel about it. When you go out there and profess it to the world, that's not easy. And that most people ain't going to hear what you're saying, believe what you're saying. And that possible danger can happen to you. But our faith is what keeps us. And what it says in the word, Psalms 34:7, the angel of the Lord encamp around those that fear him. That's why we're able to do the things that we do week in and week out. But the point is that, Jacob's trouble is around the corner. So your faith is going to be tested. We read about it. We talked about how the Lord go destroy the 2/3. You could be a 2/3, So we hope to be part of the elect. And so that's the spiritual aspect of it. But also, yeah, let me get this verse. I got one more spiritual aspect, classic right here. There have no temptation taking you but such as is common to man, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but in the moment it feels like it. But will with the temptation also make a way to escape that you may be able to bear it. All right. So it's been plenty of days where I just be like, man, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to lose my mind, man. I'm about to choke somebody. I'm about to, do this, do that. And, right in a moment, it's like a spirit of comfort come upon you, So the Lord will make a way, and he will literally make a way for you escaped out of it, I mean, too many examples, but let's just say, I don't know, you arguing with your woman, and you already know that can't nobody get you more mad than your woman, but you feel like you want to put hands on her, and before it get that far, maybe, and I'm using examples. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use my example. There's been times where I wanted to, put 12 pounds of pressure with my thumbs, all right, at one point in time. But the Lord did make a way to escape, because what ended up happening is that I knew I was getting antagonized. I knew that that's what she would want, and I end up leaving. I actually end up getting a phone call. And by getting that phone call, I was able to ignore the situation and then go take a walk and talk to that person. So, like, just something like that. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord will make a way to escape. So we are in dangerous times. So now let's get into the physical aspect. This is why the Lord said this, and you have to understand this ain't the time. We already been there. We've been there. We done that. We talked to our family about the truth. We talked to our friends about the truth. All right. Even though we getting closer to the end. I love my brother. Talk about my physical brother. Not not my real brothers as in the truth. But now I'm talking about like, blood brother. I love my brother. I'm gonna try him one more time because I really never really talked to him the way that I'm going to talk to him because he's actually coming down here. So I'm gonna talk to him one more time just to see where his head at. But if he rejects it, then it is what it is. So back to the point is that we've been there, we done that. We talked to people, we told them about the truth, they rejected it. We in dangerous times. All right. So see then that you walk circumspectly means look around, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. And the will of the Lord is to bring destruction to this place. We know the end game destruction, Babylon being on fire. But the series of actions that's going to lead unto that, that's going to be the testing. Yeah, Jacob's trouble. Yeah, mark of the beast. All right, civil wars, all of that, famine. But it's all the will of the Lord because it's written. And be not drunk with wine, talk about the philosophies of this world, and also literal wine, wherein is excess, be filled with the Spirit, man. So you got to be led by the Spirit. Also, let's jump back to the spiritual aspect. So we getting all the classics today because you can't never ever get desensitized to these scriptures because these are the things that govern us. So you have to understand that for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. And I'm about to use this video because Lord willing, when I in this video, I'm gonna do another video, and this is gonna be the first scripture that I use for a video that I'm gonna do. But the point is that we are in a demonic world, and the Lord have given Satan's physical counterpart this world. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. This is Satan's kingdom, okay? And he, to the point that Satan even I'm trying to find the word tempt. There we go. Find the word tempt. Yahushua. He said, if you bow down and worship me, I'll give you all these kingdoms. So yeah, Satan got it like that in this world. The Lord have the last say so, but also the Lord don't mind a little testing. And to be honest, it's called chastening because none of us actually deserve this truth that we have. So this is a light thing, even though in the times it feel like it's a hard thing. So it said, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. And the armor of the Most High is faith, man. Believing that the Lord is going to, give you the strength to overcome whatever obstacle you had to overcome, man. But the Lord he building us up. He's girding us up right now. And be sober, be vigilant, man. So this ain't the time to be lollygagging around. We looked up some definitions. One of the definitions, both of them actually goes into, keeping the main thing and not being lazy. So you got to watch, you got to pray, and you got to keep your eyes single. And that's how you will not fall into temptation. You also got to counteract Satan by resisting him. Matter of fact, let's end it on that. I think it's 4:13. Nope. Let me see. That was a good scripture too. Resist devil. 4:7. Submit yourself therefore to the Most High, resist the devil and he will flee from you. So when you show Satan that certain things bother you, that's the thing that he's always going to attack you on. So you have to understand. So first of all, you got to submit yourself to the Most High. That's being in the spirit. All right. That you fulfill not the deeds of the flesh. Remember, the spirit and the flesh warf. Okay. So submitting yourself to the Most High. Let's look up both of these words and then we're going to end the video. Because I don't think I ever have. But knowing me, I probably have.
Strong's G 5293. Hupatasso. Hupatasso.
Yep. To arrange under, to be subordinate, to subject, put in subjection, to subject oneself, obey. Yeah, so basically it's just being in obedience to the Lord. Okay, that's how you submit yourself to the Lord. And now, resist. Where you at?
Strong's G 436. Anthistemi. Anthistemi.
So say to stand against, oppose. So yeah, so the way that you do that, I mean, first of all, the scripture talks about, hate and evil. All right. Also, how did Yahushua combat Satan? Through the scriptures. All right. This is the word. This is what our hope is in. We got the instruction booklet. We got to follow it, baby. We got to follow it. All right. I'm talking to myself first. All right. So you oppose Satan. You pray to the Most High in those times. You tell Satan to get away from you. All right. But you also, and like I said, it's easier said than done, but that's something that you got to pray for, is to be unemotional, man. We can't keep on saying, I'm talking to myself first. We can't keep on saying, man, I'm a man. I have emotions. Like, nah, fuck that. Because those emotions that you have, first of all, you got to keep in subjection, but also Satan is looking like, okay, this bother him. Let's turn it up. All right. So seek ye out the Lord while he may be found. Be sober, be vigilant, and shalom.